just saw the frustration. Then I realized what was the missing piece. So he's talking to those who believed in him. He's talking to believers, people who may call believers in our day. And what is he saying to them? He says, if you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed. Do you know that in the original rendering, there's no word, there's no indeed there? Okay? It's actually, you are my disciples. Because somebody may say, if he's saying you are my disciple indeed, it means that they were already disciples. That's why I say they are truly his disciples. But indeed means truly the disciples. Okay? So in the original rendering, if I remember correctly, indeed is not there. So it's that you are my disciples. So we established that you can be a believer and not a what? Disciple. And to move from being a believer to a disciple, we already also had established that the way to go is to what? Abide in my word. Abide in my word. That's not all. Verse 32. Why is he insisting that we abide in the word? Verse 32. That's what verse 32 now shows us. Anyone who does not prioritize God's word, who does not stay on God's word, who does not take God's word seriously, we have already seen here that the person is not what? A disciple. Beautiful. Verse 32. Then he now says, and you know the truth. So at what point does a believer come to know the truth? Kai. At what point? Once they start abiding in God's word, they come to experience, the word know there is the word experience. They come to start experiencing what? Truth. So truth is something to be experienced. Some of you are not seeing what I'm saying or hearing what I'm saying. You're not hearing it yet. Truth is to be what? Experienced. You've experienced. And we can tell that you've experienced truth if we run a check in your life and we see the levels and the types of liberation or deliverance that you've experienced. Because truth that you've experienced will always make you what? Free. Always activate deliverance. Walk about deliverance. Or walk the work of deliverance. Kingdom realities or spiritual realities. And I mentioned something very powerful that I won't forget. I said that everything you saw Jesus manifesting was what? Was what? Truth. If you see Jesus manifesting any reality, that reality he manifested is described as what? Truth. Once you see it in Jesus, if you see it in you, you know that that is a mystery that you need to install into your life. That requires installation.